Hello there, everyone. Welcome to a new Let's Play with me, your host, Tim. And today, we're going to start playing through Starcom Nexus together. There will be some prep here that you can skip by adjusting the slider up here on YouTube to the appropriately segmented spot in case you want to skip past the preamble about what Starcom Nexus is while we're playing it today. Any special Timisms I'll be doing as we play this game together, including any house rules that we use. And that's it. I think. Let's go ahead and get started with that. Starcom Nexus is a top-down, slower-paced twin-stick shooter. I'm trying to think of a game it would be like, because when combat occurs, it can be fast, depending upon what you're fighting and where you are and the speed of your ship, but you can also take your time at it, depending upon how you've created the vessel that you are using to fly around out in space here. We'll be playing the role of a particular captain aboard a tiny little ship, and things go south rather quickly. We find ourselves in rather dire straits, and we will be forced to explore the galaxy to figure out what on Earth is going on. Any more than that would ruin it, but I will say that this is a exploration-heavy game where you will have random encounters on planets, and your choices on those planets will matter somewhat. If you're willing to take greater risks, you could end up losing quite a few crew to gain a few resources, or maybe no resources and you still lose those crew. The world is pretty vast. I really enjoyed the exploration aspect of it, and I got to the end of the game. In fact, I beat the game. I got what I believe is the bad ending. In classic Tim reaches the end of the game style. And anything I say would ruin it. I intend to show the bad ending, assuming we can get there, so you guys can see what the ending would be, and then we'll try earning the good ending instead, if we get that far in the game. I like the game enough that I really wanted to record it, and I wanted, in particular, to record this game to show my brother Dave, who doesn't play video games that are great unless they look great, that this is a phenomenal game and he should play it. Now, it turns out today, the day I'm recording this introduction part of this video, is December. What day is today? I think it's the 10th. I think it's Sunday, December 10th. Might not be that. Might not be that. I don't have a phone with me. I don't know what day it is, but it's a Sunday, and it's in December. But I recorded most of what you're going to see, the first, I think, 17 videos, including the part where I checked on my voice. I recorded all that back in, I think, June or July, up until sometime in, I think it was September. Early September was the last time I recorded Starcom Nexus. So this means when this part goes up on my channel, I will begin playing more Starcom Nexus again. For special rules I'll be doing as we play through this game, I will have two rules. Number one, which I'll discuss, I think, when we get into the game. Every time I lose a crew member, I'm going to put $1 in a jar, and at the end of the video, however much money is in that jar, I will donate to some sciencey thing that involves space. I will include a disease, by the way, that I did not encounter my first time through the game, because there are some randomized events in this game, and I will end up counting it. You'll hear me say that I'm not going to count it because I'm losing too many people. But in the end, I will count it. Tim will just make a larger donation than I would have thought originally. Number two, I will be increasing the difficulty as we go through the game. I will start with an increased difficulty beyond hard, and I will explain how you can adjust it, I believe, in the game at some point, and you will see me increase it at some other point in the game as well. So just be aware we will do that. And I think that's about it, everyone. There's a lot of text in the game. Actually, there's a lot of text in the game, so I will read it all on screen. None of this is voiced to my recollection. I will try to chat with you guys about random crap as we go from star system to star system as well, to keep it entertaining, and you will hear me perhaps address my brother Dave occasionally in the attempt to get him to play this game. But he did end up playing this game and got reasonably far although he completely missed the fact that you could upgrade anything else about his ships other than the engines. He didn't see there was a scroll bar. I don't know how he missed it, but he did, and I'll talk about that at some point later on in the game too. Anything else? One last thing about Starcom Nexus in particular. It's going to turn out by sheer fate that when I intend to upload the first one of these videos on December 14th, that the sequel to Starcom Nexus will be, I believe, in open beta or early access on Steam. There's a whole lot that's been tweaked and made a little more complex. It looks phenomenal. And I loved Starcom Nexus. So if you also liked it, maybe you could go over there and take a peek at what the developer's making. It is early access. I don't play early access games. I tend not to buy early access games, except by accident. So I'm not recommending you pick up the game, but maybe go check it out in case you were curious about, hey, I like Starcom Nexus. Holy crap, Tim's playing this game. What? There's a sequel being made? I didn't know that. I'll go and take a peek. So that's for you guys who care. I am not affiliated with the designer of this game. He has not reached out to contact me. I have no clue who he is or anything of the sort, but I really like this game, and just in case you also really liked it and might be excited to know, they are working on a sequel. Alright, so with all that said, I'm now going to cut this recording, and assuming this came out okay, I will append the other part of this video to it, and we'll start a new game. So give me 1 second. Alright everyone, it sounds like my voice is coming out okay, so let's go ahead and start us up a new game. As per fleet regulations, please enter your name and the name of your vessel. Okay, well, I love the name Jared Hiltman. It was a name for a character I created for the StarCraft forums originally, when I did 1 or 2 stories for it a long time ago, back when I was cringe, even back then. I still love the name, I'm going to use it. And I think the vessel name Final Hope was an appropriate name for the vessel. Named because I viewed this, what was probably going to be a starting freighter, as the last hope this commander would have to make ends meet and not have to end up working like as a janitor on a space station somewhere. So we'll stick with that. For the difficulty, I found hard to be rather tricky at first, but a little too easy later on in the game. I'm willing to risk going up to very hard, and I'll have to make some better choices when it comes to starting research technologies. But we're gonna go with this, and I think we're good to go. Let's start a new game. Finally got command of your own ship, eh, Jared Hiltman? I guess it's really more of a shuttle, but I myself started on a station tug. At least this is technically a starship. Kite Station isn't the most glamorous posting in Starcom, but like I said, we all started somewhere. Yes, sir. What's my first mission? I think my assignment roster calls it the delivery, but sure, we can call it a mission if you like. Your mission is to deliver the cargo in your hold to Kite Station. I believe you've got a replacement water purification system, several tons of mixed mineral resources, and a few dozen crates from an archaeology dig on Marduk Beta 2. Super interesting stuff. When you get there, see the Commodore for additional missions. Any chance the Commodore will have anything more exciting? Last year, I had to deliver a delegation of Arcturian diplomats to the Fornix 3 colony. Man, those guys can drink. So probably not. Anyway, everyone, this is us. This little ship. Here we are turning around. First Officer Williams. Kite Station is marked on your HUD, sir. It's the flashing icon in the lower left edge of your screen. Just fly us toward it. We can see down here that this is what it's indicating. Question marks mean that there is something, a planet or something of interest here that we have not yet visited. The blue pluses indicate that there is a ship here, which is neutral or friendly with us. We can zoom in or out with the mouse wheel. Let's cover a few more things up here really quick. These are our coordinates based on the entire map of space. And we can see that map by zooming all the way out here. This is what we know about in the galaxy. There may be other things out here, but we haven't yet encountered them at this point. This is where we have to go. One of our quests is pointing out this location on our map. These are generally going to be planets. This is a star. This is the ship that we saw earlier flying by us. You can see our coordinate the cursor is over up here in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. The astro units is the distance from our ship to the cursor. Down here, this button will flip you between star map and a more localized, I guess, map you can say, because you can fly and position yourself on this map. Time is not paused while you are here. This will bring up all your quests and any other dialogue which occurred. Quests will be blinking like this. There are several filters up here you can use to, well, obviously, filter out what you do or don't want to see. And you can also search for certain text if you want to narrow down your search results. Our ship status tells us all the information about our ship, which you can read about over here, and any resources we are currently carrying on our ship, as well as any research points we have unlocked towards advancing any technologies that we will be able to research later on. This button brings up our option menu, shows us how to do everything, and lets us save the game, quit the main menu, etc., like stuff like that. By the way, there is a quick save in the game. I did not realize this for a few hours. F5 is the quick save. The icon over here will indicate if it's quick saving. This shows the date and the time. As you can see, every few seconds, 15 minutes of time elapses in the game world. This is the amount of people we have on our ship. I think if this gets reduced to 0, your ship has no crew on board, and that's it. So try to make sure you have crew left. This is the amount of energy that we have. Energy is expended by moving and by firing your weapons, depending upon the type of weapon it is. And this is your hull points. If this is reduced to 0, you are destroyed. Your crew also, well, the amount of crew you possess will determine how quickly you also repair your hull, as a heads up. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get going to our destination. It's a big, vast world out there. We'll slowly get to see it as we deliver mineral water at the space stations. Very, very slowly, because we haven't unlocked anything yet. But we will eventually make it there. Asteroids. Looks like a small asteroid field ahead. We can easily steer around them, but this might be a good time for some target practice. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and try destroying a few asteroids. Last time I had done this very first area, I skipped destroying asteroids altogether. And I didn't realize there was something you could actually destroy for a little bit. As you can see, we're firing a gun. Look at us go. You can see the energy that it's draining down below here. This is a little too silent. Let me see if I can increase the sounds a bit. I don't want to really increase the music too much, though. Is that better? Let's see. That's better. Nice shooting, Commander. Thank you, First Officer Williams. As you can see, you fire where your cursor is located, with it mostly being accurate. Now, we could stand around here and destroy all of these. I think we'll destroy a few more and see if we can get anything to drop from the asteroids. And we did. We got 2 titanium. Take that, space rocks. Looks like you didn't need to practice after all. I think, well, it helps that I spent about 40 hours in the game already. If you take your time at this, by the way, you're probably going to find at least there to be about, I would imagine, like 25 hours worth of gameplay. And I attempted to do many, if not, well, I know I didn't do all the side quests. I didn't explore every single system either. And I was probably close to 40, 41 hours in the game by the time I got to the ending of it. So we can stay here and destroy all the asteroids, and I think there's an achievement for doing so, but I'll spare you guys that. I don't have an outline of anything written down to talk about anyway, so. We'll destroy one more asteroid. Oh my god, it's embarrassing I'm missing so much. Alright. Alright, well let's keep moving now towards We probably don't need to destroy all the asteroids, Commander. I agree, First Officer Williams. We probably don't have to. Let's let our energy recharge on our ship. And keep going. We'll talk all about ships soon. That's odd. Getting some strange readings from the sensors. Could be a solar flare. Helm control seems off too. Also, something seems to be pulling us towards that giant glowing rift. Can we get away from it? We're far enough away that we can hold our position. Actually, no, we can't. We are slowly being pulled into it. That looks a lot like a rift I had seen in one of these Star Trek movies. And we can't get away. What the hell just happened? Oh, pardon my language, Commander. We've got damage reports coming in from all sections. Instruments are offline. Control teams are scrambling. Okay. Nav computer is back online, but it's failing to resolve our position. It doesn't recognize the stellar configuration. Either it's broken, or we're a long way from home. Well, we have some planets up there and a planet next door. And something is coming toward us, an unknown scout. Let's await the scout and see, maybe it can help us figure out where we're located? Or tell us how to get to Kite Station. Intruder. You are in Cheetech-controlled space. Identify yourself immediately or be destroyed. I am Jared Hiltman, a human representative of Starcom. We are an organization of peaceful exploration. One of our research outposts was just destroyed. And here you are. An unidentified ship in our territory. Explain this. Well, this is not likely to work. So we will hope that their sensors picked up the same rift that saw us. Hopefully, it looks like it probably deposited us here from our own spot in the galaxy. We are someplace else altogether different now. Hopefully their sensors detected it. I'm surprised we can actually communicate with them. We were pulled into this region by a rift in space. I think that rift just also destroyed your outpost. A rift in space pulled your ship to the exact point in space occupied by our research outpost, thereby destroying it. That is incredible. Do you believe us? Our universal translator system may be having some issues with your language. Does incredible mean not credible? Not exactly. It means amazing or fantastic. I think it is telling that your language is as deceptive as its speakers. We believe you are agents of the Saurid. Disable your weapon systems and await our incredibly peaceful response. Oh God! No! Oh! We're under attack! Help! Oh! Oh! It has greater range than us. Thankfully, we can repair the damage. Scanners have picked up another Starcom signal. It looks like it's Kite Station. Maybe they know what happened. I marked it on the HUD. We're going there. Thankfully, we're a little faster than him, which is amazing because it's supposed to be a scout. Maybe it's a damaged scout. He really wants us. Come on. Help! We need help. Hopefully, the station can destroy this because I don't know if we're capable of doing so. Oh, this thing is actually it's taunting us. Help! Kite Station, help! Yes! Yes! We'll turn around bravely now. Good work! Kite Station. And crew. We were able to avoid that horrible monster destroying us. I suppose they'll be glad to get the mineral water now? There's a bunch of station notices. So let's go ahead and read these first. This will give us maybe some glimpses of what happened here. 26/19/07/24. 400 hours. I won't read that more than just the first one, because this tells us what date the first station notice was marked. Congratulations to Juliet Cassidy and Winston Moline on their marriage. Congratulations, you two. Kite Station welcomes the crew and passengers of the Virgil. If you did not receive your accommodation assignment, please see Berth Manager. Notice to visitors, the red yellow hatches on Deck 2 are maintenance access points, not reclamators. Please do not throw garbage in them. Kite Station welcomes the Arcturian delegation. You'll be traveling to the Fornix system on the... Oh, I can't pronounce this. Byzantium in 2 days. For the remainder of the Arcturian delegation visit, commissary sales of alcohol are limited to 2 units per person per day. Wow, the last guy we saw wasn't joking. They really can drink a ton. Congratulations to Marty Smith and Angela Marshall on their recent engagement. So it sounds like it's a really close-knit station and the people on board here. Chief Xenobiologist Mary Davison's retirement party will be on Friday at 22:20 in D Lounge on Deck 3, Cash Bar. The freighter Caver will be docking at 04:33 tomorrow. It is delivering the much-needed Nutrasynth upgrades and a replacement L pylon for the hydroponics section. Ano Lee has given birth to twins. Congratulations, Ano and Jessica. Friends are welcome to view the newborns on their Starlink channel. Stellar Cartography has been open position for a senior interocitor operator. Yes. Send your application to StarMap at Kite Local. Emergency. All personnel to battle stations. This is not a drill. Notice. Station is in emergency power consumption state. All personnel service usage is limited to 1 kilowatts per day. Wow. So everything was great until... And I don't think this was us right here. It might have been our just encountering the ship here. But I have a hunch maybe they became concerned. It sounds like they also might have been rifted based on this. Well, Station Commander Miranda Price wants to talk with us. You must be Jared Hiltman. When we detected a Starcom vessel, I was hoping it was Captain Lee. No offense, but... I can't pronounce this. Byzantinium... I just did, and now I can't. Byzantium is a warship. I can't do it. We had no ships docked at the station when... Well, whatever that was happened. It looks like you're the only starship we've got. Ha! The Byzantium, however I say that, Byzan, might be a battlecruiser, but we have some crates of ancient pottery on board. That's funny. Actually, you do have one advantage over that battlecruiser. When we got pulled into that rift, we took some damage. Part of your cargo was some mineral resources we need for repair. Speaking of the rift, what the hell was it? I have no idea. A lot of our databanks were completely fried by the event, but I'm pretty sure we never had any record of a rift in space that pulls ships into another galaxy. So here's our situation. Based on the initial encounters with a race called the Chai-Tech, we're in unfriendly territory. We're low on resources. We've lost a lot of our technical data. We're stranded in another galaxy. We've got only one starship. Yours. And it's terrible. What do you need us to do? First, get yourself to the shipyard. You're authorized to use any of the minerals you brought that we didn't use for repairs to make upgrades to your ship. Make sure you get the surveyor module installed, because your next task is to do a survey of the planets in this system. See if there's anything that we can use or that might pose a threat. Then report back your findings. Alright, we have access to the shipyard. But we see someone else wants to talk with us here. So let's talk with Chief Engineer Lieutenant John Shang. What can I help you with? Hey, any tips on ship layout? I have several. First, most ship systems lose effectiveness as they take damage. Try to keep important modules protected. Second, some high-energy systems like turrets gain a significant bonus for each open space they neighbor due to waste heat venting. Finally, pay attention to the module limit. This is limited by the technologies we've recovered. Was there anything else? All for now, thanks. Everyone seems to have a little smirk on their faces. I just realized that right now. Our first commander does. Hi everyone, welcome to the shipyard. I'm Lieutenant Chiang, Chief Engineer. Thanks to your cargo, we can make some upgrades to your ship. The ship configuration system is pretty self-explanatory. We have a lossless material recycler, so feel free to experiment with different builds. You won't lose resources. To simplify ship build-out, you can start with a blueprint. Since you're going to be doing surveys, I suggest a light surveyor. Alright everyone, let's talk about this really quick. So these are the resources we have acquired so far. Our ship started with most of this. We picked up 2 titanium by destroying one of the asteroids. These are the parts that you can currently construct. New parts are unlocked through resources, through technology. You will need to get research points to unlock the technology through the research tree, which we don't have access to at this moment. Or sometimes you can find research out there, or rather something that you can use to build your ship. I think there's like 1 tech. Is that right? I'm probably, maybe I'm wrong about that. Never mind. I think you can find specific, Alright, I'm sorry, I'm messing this up. We'll talk about research when that's unlocked. The parts are all unlocked through research, if I recall correctly now. Blueprints are ships which are already constructed, and you can get that exact ship by selecting a blueprint and pressing load selected. So for example, we've just loaded now the light surveyor. We could go back to the light shuttle by selecting this. I still think this is a little too silent for my liking. Let's see, can I make this a bit louder? I don't like how quiet it sounds. Alright, I'm going to do a bad thing here and increase the master volume a bit and hope my voice is acceptable with it. Okay, so you can right-click on ship parts to get rid of them and left-click on ship parts to place them. There's a few rules when it comes to placing parts. You cannot put anything behind an engine, no matter where that engine is placed on your ship. And I mean nowhere behind it. All of these hexes behind this engine cannot have any pieces placed on it. Some parts, which we don't currently have access to, have the same limitation about what's in front of it. So keep that in mind as well. Let's go ahead and... Okay, so can we read about these parts? The plasma turret. Plasma turrets are your ship's primary weapon. Due to the heat they generate, turrets gain a 10% fire rate boost for every adjacent empty space. So let's go ahead and... Well, let's go ahead and read a bit more. We have a reactor. Reactors generate energy for the ship's engines, turrets, and other systems. Additional reactors increase energy production rate and max reserves. So each reactor gives us 100 reserves and 6 energy generated per turn, per second. The Surveyor module allows ships to conduct surveys of planets. We'll need this in order to send an away team down, and you must always have a Surveyor module on your ship. You can also only have 1 Surveyor module. It is not the radar that's on your ship, although well, I guess it is technically, but you can't have more than 1 of them. So let's go ahead and place our Surveyor module behind our bridge. Your ship must have a bridge. By the way, every piece you add is increasing your hit points, I think, somewhat. As you can see here, this adds 50 hit points, and the amount of mass our ship has. The bigger your ship, the more engines you'll need to propel it at the same speed. So in other words, if you have 1 engine on your ship, let's go ahead and add 1. We can see our current max speed here, turn rate, and etc. And as we begin adding more pieces to the ship, you can see that our max speed begins decreasing, as is our turn rate, for example. So keep this in mind when designing your ship. Well, I'm going to go ahead and add, I think, 2 reactors? Oh, it can't. Okay, we've only got enough chillerite. God, I hope that's how you pronounce it. To add a single reactor. So why don't we add that here? Surveyor. Actually, no. I want the surveyor module here. Reactor can go here. We'll add 2 plasma turrets. I did. You know what? I'm just taking way too long. I'm so sorry, everyone. Let's surveyor module in the front. The ship has. I mean, it's got to look pretty, right? We have to make it look pretty. All right, there we go. We can't build anything else. We don't have the resources, even though we have 1 left spot available on our ship. We just don't have anything we can put in it. Like, we have no resources. So, that'll have to be good. Let's head on out. Maybe I don't want this. Let's do it like surveyor. I think that looks a little better. Looks a little better. All right, let's do it. Leave the station. I see 3 planets on our scanners that are survey candidates. Let's check them out. Before we do that, as you can see, we just left the station, and based on our configuration compared to what our frigate had once been, we gained more energy and we gained more max hull. All right, now that's all filled up. Let's go ahead and pull up our map and zoom out. So, ignore what was up there, by the way. That was probably where we once had been. Actually, maybe we can get back up there. We can see that there is a nebula out here to the right. And another star that we see. A blue main sequence out there. The light is shining good enough that we can see that it's someplace we can reach. But they're far away. Like, that is 16,000 astro units. And our speed is very limited at this moment. You can press the C key on your keyboard, at least that's what it is for me, in order to turn on your boosters and leave them on. But you can also use the WASD keys, with W pushing you in the forward direction. Think tank controls. That's what these are. So let's go down here and visit the faraway planet where we started from first. Oh! Yeah, let's do this first, okay. At the time of recording this episode, I have not yet recorded an intro for this video, and, but it will be done afterwards. Okay, so everything I wanted to mention should be there. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at this planet really quick. I think I would like to look at the planets with you guys on screen before I survey them, because I loved, in Mass Effect 1, I loved the look of the planets when we were able to scan them for resources and what have you. I didn't like the traveling on the surface of the planet, marking down the resources very much. That was a bit too much. But I love the look of the planets, just imagining stuff like this exists and what could be on the surface of them. So I suppose it's a good time to admit that I don't know what class R means. I'm assuming that relates somehow to the size of the planet. It looks like there's some cloud cover, and it looks like it's very much a desert or barren planet based on what I see down below. Unless there's some lava here or something. Maybe that's what we see the light there from the surface. Let's see what's on the planet by scanning it with X. And there's something present. Planets will either have an anomaly, in which case there's something down there, one thing, most of the time, that you'll be interested in scanning, or rather sending an away team down to investigate. Or there's nothing, in which case you scan the planet, it says there's nothing there, you move on to another planet. Sometimes there's no anomaly, but there's something interesting about the planet anyway, and you might get like resources or technology, even if you don't have to send down an away team. But let's send down an away team. There they go. Good luck, guys. The source of the anomalous readings is a small, dense titanium sphere, which contains a transmitter emitting a short, regular bursts at 1420 megahertz. No other artificial objects were detected to explain the sphere's presence. How odd. Based on the image we see here, I was right about it being a barren planet with cloud cover. I still think it looks kind of pretty. I wonder how big this sphere is, because I think this is supposed to be a mountain here of some sort. Oh, but it says here this is a small dense titanium sphere, so no, based on the size of this must be just a small scrap of sand or something. The mountains are way, way in the background. Very beautiful, though. I love the artwork they've done on the planets. Makes me kind of wish I was there with my camera. Well, for titanium, we won't say no to that. We grab it, our ship comes back, and that's it. The planet is now marked as having explored it. Oh god! Enemies have appeared. Let's see if we can go back up the kite station, because we're being smacked around quite a bit by these. We did manage to damage one of them. It's interesting that there's two of them, so I am playing on a higher difficulty level. You know what? We're not under damage anymore. Maybe we can kill this one. Hey! Oh, get away, Tim. Taking some damage there. It's smoking, so we've hurt him. But he may decide to fly away since we destroyed a friend and hurt him. And he's going to be tough to catch, so we'll just have to let him go. As you saw, enemies in this game, when they do spawn, will kind of warp in on you on occasion. Yep, that's what they do. There must be something... they do look a lot like hivers from sort of the stars, so they're probably using gate technology to throw themselves forward. Okay, just one planet left. There was nothing on this planet at all. It looks very similar to the one we had scanned earlier. I should have stopped to look at it. Oh, hey, he's coming back. He's fully repaired. Now he's back for round 2, I see. Oh, he's not fully repaired. He's still damaged. Probably should have had more crew. Woo! That was close. I didn't think we'd get other enemies in the zone so quickly like that. Holy crap. Oh, this is a beautiful planet, I think. Or much prettier than the other ones. Water on this one. I think it's water. Cloud cover. And some landmass on the north side of the planet. Looks like there's a larger island here on the southern side, too. There's something down here. Let's see what's waiting. Good luck, guys. The source of the anomaly signal is an overgrown, abandoned research lab. The upper levels of the lab have been ruined by centuries of exposure to the elements, but in an underground facility, the team finds what appears to be an intact AI core. The team's xenotechnician thinks he can either restart the core or cut out the memory banks and try to extract the data. Some forests. We see something looks like that's on the side of this mountain, with more looks like facilities out in the distance here. So if this was this was more than just a research lab, I suppose, but a research facility with several different laboratories. I'm guessing the one in the mountain must be the one we're currently in. Let's reboot the AI. I'm hoping that there were no weapon systems here. So have him reboot the AI and see what it can tell us. The technician uses the lander's computer to bootstrap the AI core. While the universal translator seems to just translate what it says, it is apparently corrupted and only repeats eyes locked, stop, any key return. The technician is still able to extract a large amount of useful data from the cores. The team is also able to salvage some useful minerals from the equipment. 150 research points, 60 titanium, 20 chirolite. Or chirolite? Everyone is going to be like at least probably 10 or more of these videos recorded before the first one gets uploaded, which means that if I'm pronouncing this stuff awfully wrong, I'm not going to be able to correct myself at any time soon, so I apologize in advance for that. Survey complete. Okay, that's all the planets in the system. Let's head back to the station. I think the first time I went to this planet, I decided to not touch the core. In which case I didn't get any of the resources, but I wasn't sure I wanted to risk any of the people on that planet. I remember some pretty horrific encounters on some planets, and I intend to do them again, because the writing was just too cool not to actually go through with it. We have several new notices which have shown up. Notice: until we have secured a reliable organic replenishment source in this sector, food rationing is in effect. The Kite Research Lab is looking for a junior archaeology cataloger. Anyone with pre-Empire experience will be given preference. Alright, let's see what our commander says. I reviewed your logs from the system survey. That abandoned lab is interesting for 2 reasons. 1. It suggests that there are other civilizations in this region besides the Chitech. Maybe some of them are less hostile. And 2, it looks like you found a treasure trove of research data. Which leads me to an update. I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that our own research lab is up and running again. What's the bad news? A lot of our technical data seems to have been lost when the Rift fried our systems, but Lieutenant Commander Pillman says that we can recover a lot of it using research data you discover here. So make lots of scientific discoveries to your to-do list. But first, head over to the research lab and see what you can do with what you found so far. Alright, let's talk with Commander Victorian Pillman. I'm not sure if you knew this, but we were recently pulled through a rift in space that wiped out most of our databanks. As you might expect, I have my hands pretty full. Have you checked out that pottery we brought in? Pretty interesting, huh? I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic, but actually, ceramic archaeology is a hobby of mine, and I asked August to send that pottery. And no, I haven't looked at it yet because I'm extremely busy. Is there anything else? Nope, let's get back to your research. And let's click research. I am Lieutenant Commander Pillman. You just met me, head of the research lab, but you may call me Dr. Pillman. The data you have uncovered during your errands will allow me to recover some of the lost technologies and possibly discover new ones. The Commodore has decided that you, a ship's commander with no science background, should choose the direction of our research because you are in the field, as she puts it. Unlike the shipyard, once we research the technology, those points are locked in. We can't unresearch something, so choose wisely. Personally, I suggest researching turbo thrusters, if nothing else. It'll get your ship to get somewhere in a hurry if you need to. Or get away, as the case may be. But I only have 2 doctorates, so, you may know better. Dr. Pillman is a bit of a jerk, shall we say. I think, though, I agree with him. Increase the thrust and energy consumption of our engines by 25%. Good job. I officially promote you to research grad student. If you have questions, you can contact me from the command, but I am rather busy at the moment. Sorry to interrupt the science, sir, but Commander Price has an update for you. When you are finished here, head to the command section. We have 70 more points to place. So, we probably want to work on our energy output, so we can do more with what we have, not worry about running out of it. Especially because we just took improved engines. Or, we will want to improve our damage from our guns. I fought 2 scouts there, so I'm a little nervous about that. Let's see. But high energy bolts are 100 tech, and we only have 70. We could probably use better accuracy, so let's start with magnetic focus. Decreases the spread of our plasma bolts for better accuracy. It's not quite more energy, it's not more damage, but it translates to more damage if we get hit more often, and it translates to less energy spent if we can actually require less shots. So we'll go with that. With 25 energy left, it's not really a whole lot. Increase our ship's maximum speed when in deep space, far from celestial objects. We will occasionally be needing to travel, far away from planets. This will let us travel faster when away from them. Sure, we'll take this. Alright, let's go back to command. Our long-range scanners have detected a warp nexus in this sector. It definitely wasn't there when we arrived. I don't know whether this is part of the phenomenon we encountered earlier or the result of your activities in the system. I hope it's a way back to Starcom space, but even if it leads to another sector here in Xeno, as my crew is calling this region, I still want to know what's on the other side. What if it leads somewhere with no way back? And I would be sad, because we'll have lost our only ship with engines, but also because you and your crew will be doomed to die alone in the void. In case that doesn't happen, take a look around before reporting back. Your priorities are to find, help, gather resources, and learn what you can about this region. Before heading out, make sure to do any tech research or ship upgrades you might need, just in case. We have enough for another plasma turret. I kind of was really hoping for to be able to afford another reactor, but we need quite a bit more chirolite before we can do that. I guess we'll just put on another plasma turret then. Let's see, do I have a blueprint? I don't have a blueprint for this. So plasma turret it is. In the front. Alright. Let's get going. I think everyone we have time to do this really quick. See where this leads us, assuming it doesn't kill us, explore what's over there. And then we'll head back, do more upgrades, assuming we survive. We can do a little more upgrades, repair or build another, maybe fix up our ship, try something building a little bit differently. I prefer 2 reactors to just 1 reactor, and we'll call the session then. So, oh, I didn't even just I just went into that. So that's the warp node she was talking about, and it brings us to another node, and thankfully it's still open on this side. The music indicates that there's a hostile approaching, and here it is. We can right-click on a ship in order to target it, I think. Oh, but I'm already targeting the ship. Can we talk with him? We do not surrender, nor do we accept yours, so we see little to discuss. We wish to make amends. Your words are meaningless. Flee or be destroyed. Alright then, we'll just pummel you. I'm gonna gain a little bit of titanium for that. The Chitech, I have not figured out a way to make friends with, to be friends with them. So they will always be, always be hostile. We have another scout approaching. Let's deal with it first before we scan the planet. It's charged. Oh, we have another one as well. Okay, let's deal with these 2 enemies first. Bring it. We're a little more. Ooh, yeah, got one of his engines off. We do not have to worry about suffering part destruction. They will not blow parts off our ship, but they can heavily damage them. In which case they begin operating at a lesser efficiency. Oh, hey, that dropped something. Let's take it. 2 yttrium. That is used for guns, if I recall correctly. No anomalies detected. This looks like a desert planet, based on the coloring of it. With some cloud cover as well. This one looks like it's quite habitable for humans, based solely on the coloring of it. I see rivers, mostly landmass. The pole, the North Pole? It's Upper Pole? I don't know how to call this. I'll go with North Pole. Seems to have some water or ice there. There's something here. All right, White Team, good luck. Let's see what you find. A rocky plateau with unusual density readings turns out to be disguised and apparently abandoned military fortress. Scans detect a faint energy source coming from within. So, you don't have to make a choice every time you land on a planet. You can pull the crew back, in which case the game will hint that you can return to the ship for now, or we can risk exploring what's in here at the cost of losing some of our crew. Possibly most of them, depending upon how difficult the encounter could be. First, though, I want to look at the picture, because I do love the pictures over here. I'm guessing the station must be hidden somewhere on the side of the fortress here, of this plateau, over here somewhere. I don't see any other, what looks like, well, I don't want to, we can't really call it man-made structure, given that we've seen only insects so far. They did mention something called saurids, so there's probably something else out here, assuming it, like another type of creature altogether, assuming it's not a faction of theirs. I like the sunset glow on the rocks here, too. I think we'll have the team force their way in. We could really use that technology, whatever it is, and we could probably use it now. Let's do it. The hidden fortress was no longer manned, but the team's rough entrance activated a number of automated defense drones, which opened fire. The drones had apparently kept other raiders at bay, but the fortress's storerooms was a large amount of military equipment. The equipment was antiquated by our standards, but could be recycled into useful mineral resources. We lost 2 crew. Gained titanium, 15? I guess you don't really need me to read this. So we gained some resources. Nice. Something to help us make another reactor. And Cobalt 20 is used for things that I don't think we're able to build yet. It'll come in useful later, though. And that's our first crew loss, everyone. It's sad to lose crew members. Also, with fewer hands on deck, repairs will go slower. Next time we visit Kite Station, you should ask the Commodore whether she can assign us replacements. A heads up, and this is something I wish was done a little differently. To my knowledge, there is no restriction on the amount of times you can ask for crew, and there will be no holding back on crew replacements. You will always be able to get crew going back to Kite Station, no matter how many you lose. I kind of wish there was like an upwards maximum, and that is one of the reasons why we are doing the donation thing for this video series. Once again, every crew member I lose, whenever throughout this entire game, will be $1 that I will put into a donation jar. And at the end of this Let's Play, we will donate that to something related to space or science. Or science in space. I'll find some place to donate this to. That will be fun for 2 reasons. Number 1, because it gives me an excuse to do some charity. Not that I really need an excuse to do so, but I like doing so. And number 2, so that this doesn't become $500 worth, because that's a lot of money for me, it also will mean that I'm going to need to make some tough choices about where or when I decide to do certain things. We can lose crew in combat as well, so I'll have to be careful about that too. Every time I ask for crew, when we get them replaced, that will be $1 to that fund. Okay, didn't earn any research yet. This otherwise normal-looking high-temperature star is emitting a small number of neutrinos with a highly curved path. It's almost as if the star is throwing out curveballs. We earn 90 research. You should always fly past all the planets and stars in the system, assuming you're willing to risk it. There are some stars, and maybe a planet or 2, which are very dangerous, however, to get to. On our map now, this blue symbol with a purple symbol with the circle in it, yep, are these warp nodes? And this planet looks like it's forested to me, unless this is some sort of bedrock covering it instead. This looks like completely dried out rivers down here too. Nothing detected on this planet. We have one more planet to scan. Let's head down here and take a peek and see what may be down here. Then I'm going to quickly run to a different room to check what time it is. And if we play for an hour, we will probably stop. Oh, wow. Look at this. This looks like a gas planet. Yep, gas giant O-class unsurveyed. I've got no clue what type of gas this could be, based on the coloring of it. Reminds me of Jupiter. Let's take a peek. Scans indicate this gas giant has a core of metallic hydrogen, a phenomenon long speculated about but never actually detected. 85 research points. Alright. Well, that's all that's in this sector that we can detect so far. Things will occasionally show up later on. Nothing like a new planet, but there could be other events or things that transpire, which may make you want to double back and check all these places again. Sometimes you might get some research or a breadcrumb from a mission or quest that will have you go back to a planet you already explored. These do look like whirlpools to me. Well, let's head on in. Oh, actually, I wanted to detect the time. It's too late. Guess we're doing one more. Galaxy. Well, not galaxy. Hello? What is that? Nothing like this structure is in our database. Maybe one of the civilizations in this galaxy is really into abstract minimalist sculpture. The music makes it sound like we have a hostile coming. And I can see the red plus down here, which indicates there is one. It is on the way. Let's scan this planet before it arrives, it being a gas giant. Something within this planet is broadcasting a powerful EM signal. We can detect no pattern, but its strength alone gives us some new data about the lower atmosphere of gas planets. Another scout. We see ya. It's gonna charge ya. You know, with 3 guns, we can do enough damage that you're not really a threat. Like, we can get you before you can put significant damage on us, assuming we hit most of the time. Oh, turn and dodge, dodge. I don't think with 2 engines we can catch him. Actually, we can barely... Yeah, we can do so. It's gonna take might take a few minutes, though, but we're gonna try it. Darn you. We're gonna get hit a bit. Ah, that's annoying, but I want to destroy it. Wow! Worker metrics only went up the scale. Looks like something created a warp instability nearby. I've never seen that before. Let's take a look at that. Something's, okay. I guess we're gonna sail to that really quick and ignore him because we can't catch him. What the heck is that? Alright, well... Nope! Stay away from it! Ah, we gotcha! Primitive vessel. Let's take a look at this. This unmanned vessel appears to be an early attempt at interstellar travel. It uses a primitive but wholly original warp field generator. As best the engineer can tell, it was probably intended to fly to a particular location, turn around, and return to its launch point. Unfortunately, the warp field collapsed prematurely, damaging the craft. Its encryption system worked better than the warp drive. We can't decipher the telemetry data to figure out how it was supposed to work or where it came from. If we ever find out who launched it, we can return the data to them, and perhaps they can explain their unusual technology. The music's still going, so there's a hostile in the system somewhere still, but he's nowhere near us. I don't see anything on the radar. And we don't see any red pluses here either. So we can probably go back and begin safely scanning these other planets until we see it, and then we'll deal with him. If you're going a long distance and need to take your hands off the command console, the ship has auto-thrust capabilities. Yeah, you can see to toggle it. We're almost to this planet, which looks very barren to me. Some very light cloud cover, so it indicates there's a small atmosphere here. There's something here. Let's see what it is. Good luck, team. In a crater-scarred valley, the team finds an enormous derelict starship. Whether it crashed here after a battle or landed to make repairs and never took off again is unclear. What is clear is that it is a potential treasure trove of resources too rich to ignore. Have the team salvage the ship for resources. The outer hull is on the verge of disintegration from centuries or longer of exposure to the elements, but some of the inner decks yield large quantities of valuable material. Attached to the ship's drive is a strange device, a set of 4 concentric rings encased in a translucent sphere, like some kind of gyroscope. The team carefully separates the artifact from the drives for return to the ship. Sounds like that strange structure we saw, the giant structure outside that one planet. The artifact we found on that spaceship seems to be an interface between a ship's navigational system and something else. Although I'm not sure what yet. Oh, First Commander Williams, stop being coy. We all know it's that strange alien art. Maybe it'll let us give it a thumbs up. So let's go over there and do so. Let them know good job. Well, whatever that was, it's not hostile. And it's scanning around. Whoa! Whoa! She has the same reaction. That artifact we found on the derelict spacecraft just spun up. It looks like that enormous structure is generating its own warp nexus. These here are how you are able to warp between very specific spots. You can make notes on the star map to help you remember important locations. Alright, we can do that later. So, you can warp from any one of these types of nodes to any other one of these types of nodes that you've discovered. And it looks like there's one back by Kite Station. We will go back there later. Let's wrap up exploring this sector, and then we'll call the session. Uh-oh. A Chi-Tech orbiter. That sounds like a space station of some sort. We'll scan this planet first. Looks like a desert planet of some sort, but there was nothing on it. I love the way that the sun hits it, though. I like seeing the little craters and details on these planets. I think that's a really nice addition. Oh, it's a space station. We're hostile with you, so we're gonna try get ya. I am sorry, but we wanted to make amends, and you said no. Or someone did. Oh, God, this thing's really pummeling us. Let's get a little bit of distance. Have my 13 crew repair it. All right, here we go. Take another pass at it. It's good. We're killing it. I feel bad for your people. Oh, we're out of energy. Out of energy. Okay, let's move away. So we can't fire. We don't want to take any fire. All right, let's wait for some energy to recharge, and we'll make another sweep. We definitely want to get another reactor on our ship if we can, and drop one of these turrets so we can just constantly bombard things. Or do a better job at it. Here we go! Try to take it. That's a good pass. I think we'll scan the planet as long as we're here. This is like a water world. There's something there. Alright, we'll want to take a peek at that. Let's wait for we get a little more energy. Thankfully, we're not having any other Chi-Techs pop in at the moment. Alright, here we go. We're coming for you. Oh, nice. Hey. Oh, and they sent some reinforcements, or something has arrived. We got some gold for that. It's a cargo ship. Looks like they were probably going to deliver some goods to that station, but we intercepted it. Sorry, cargo ship, but you shouldn't be here. Ooh, and it had some cargo. I think the different colors that it glows indicates what you're picking up. So all this must be titanium. Titanium is used for, I think, the vast majority of ship sections you can construct. And it's a requirement to build them, in addition to some sort of secondary specific resource for each thing. If you're not using titanium, I think you're going to end up using adamantite instead. The wreck of a small craft lies just below the sea surface near a cluster of rocky islands. Oh, look at it down here. Yeah. Looks like a circular UFO, I suppose, crashed here. Although I thought it was some sort of underground sea station. I like the look of the rocky plateaus next to the ocean or sea. Surface scans suggest that it has been there for some time. Among the island's small forests, the team spots a group of quadrupeds curiously observing the lander. Maybe the quadrupeds can tell us a little bit about the station. Try to communicate with them. The lander's universal translator facilitates some basic communication with the quadrupeds. One member, possibly a tribal leader, has a story that she feels is very important to convey. Two blue-eyed sisters and their little brother swam in a line in a sunset sea. The little brother kept a dark secret in his green stone water. The fisherman came and tried to coax the secret from him, but learned too late that the green water must not run. They sailed away too late and wrecked their skiff off our shores, lest the green water pollute the whole ocean. When the fishermen came, we will tell them this story. The team's xenoculture expert observes that the story has figurative and grammatical aspects that do not appear in the quadruped's normal speech. She speculates that it may be their attempt to preserve a narrative given to them by the wrecked survivors. I actually know what this is referring to now. Man. How about that? Alright. Well, let's send the diver to explore the wreck. It's the only option that we have. The wreck appears to have been breached shortly after crashing. It is in remarkably good condition, despite having apparently been flooded with seawater for what might have been centuries. The craft appears to be only outfitted for short-range travel, possibly a support vessel or a large life pod. While none of the equipment works, it does provide some useful data. We get some research points. Return to the ship. Alright. I don't see any other planets in this system. Two blue-eyed sisters? Interesting. Possibly that's what it was referring to. Let's head back to Kite Station, everyone, and we'll call it a session here. Yep. I don't have an outline of anything to talk about, so hopefully you guys have found this interesting. I'm going to love the excuse to donate to charity, explore the game again, and now see how things relate to each other that I totally didn't realize at first. And to play at a hard difficulty level, because it should be... Some of these combats that are coming up are going to be really difficult. Ooh! Our first Chitech Destroyer. I don't know if we're able to handle this, but we'll try briefly. Oh, yes we can. Though we don't want to... Oh, that's not a warp node. Nice! Hey! Take that! Missile loader. Oh, that was not a destroyer. That was a frigate. We found part of a missile launcher. By itself, it's not enough to start research, but maybe if we find additional components... You can get parts that you need for different weapon systems. In particular, that tends to be what you're looking for, what you get parts for, by just destroying the ships. And eventually, you will get enough parts. But from my knowledge, I think aside from one type of weapon, you're not guaranteed to get the parts from any particular engagement. Alright, we can warp immediately back here. Enemies, to my knowledge, will begin to repopulate areas that you have been, and the amount and when they do so is based on the amount of time that has elapsed since you were last there, and or potentially cleared them out of that area. And we lost a third person during that conflict. So we'll have to mark down $3. There's a new ship notice here. While Jared Hiltman conducts surveys of the nearby star system, it is likely that Final Hope will need additional crew. Due to the inherently risky nature of planetary surveys, these positions qualify for hazard pay. Just read your log on these Nexus gateways. I don't want to get my hopes up, but who or whatever constructed them had some incredible level of technology. If anything can get us home, these gateways might be the clue. Investigate any more that you find. And good job finding the artifact that activates them, by the way. Was there anything else? We could use more crew. You got it. We have some fresh volunteers right out of training. Was there anything else? How's morale? Holding together. News of your discoveries are giving everyone hope, but nerves are starting to fray a bit. I don't think there's any morale system in the game, or I did not encounter it on the hard difficulty level. Maybe there is something here that is dependent upon the amount of people that you lose, but I did not see it last time I played through the game. Have you learned anything else about the Rift? I'm afraid not. Not only did it fry out databanks that might have held any prior reports, a lot of our sensors were damaged, so we don't even really know what happened. That's all for now. Thank you, Commander. Pillman. I'm not sure if you knew this, but we were recently pulled through a rift in space that wiped out most of our databanks, as you might expect. And my hands full. Have you checked out that pottery yet? No. I'm plagued with constant interruptions. Is there anything else? Nope. I'll let you get back to your research. I love bothering him. Hey, John Chang. What can I help you with? Dr. Pillman doesn't seem very friendly. So you've met the good doctor, huh? Rumor has it he's been that way since the incident. What incident? Being born. The man has been intolerable since I met him. He thinks he's this unappreciated genius, and Kite Station is kindergarten. Thing is, we all do appreciate his genius, but no one will ever tell him because he's a jerk. Is there anything else? That's all for now. Thanks. We got a little bit of research, so we should totally, well, obviously do something with it. I think we will research the Scout class. It will let us build bigger ships. So we go from 8 modules to 12 total modules now. Let's research it. Now, I'm probably going to need to be careful about how I spend these points. I'm going to want more energy. So let's get the reactor output optimization. Oh, it doesn't tell me how much does it give me. Does it tell me? It doesn't even tell me. Increase the energy production of our reactors. Right now, our reactors are producing 6 production. I wish that... So, if that was a criticism I have of this game, is that I do wish it gave me the raw numbers. I don't know how much more this is going to give me. But in the end, no matter how much it gives me, I think we still want it. So let's research this. And now, our reactors give us 7.8. So, what was that? Just under 20%? No. Just under 33% of an upgrade. So, probably 30%? I think it might have said that at first at some point when I hovered over it too. No. Power cell density says 30%. This did not say that. Okay. With 165 tech left over, we should probably grab an upgrade to our weaponry. Let's see. I wouldn't mind having greater range so we can actually hit the enemy. Right? We've seen that it's tough to actually hit them. The scouts, so they can barely run away and plink at us. So let's grab Plasma Coherence for increased range. And I don't see what the range upgrade is either, so let's find out together. It doesn't tell me. Okay. Well, it's an upgrade. I do wish this told me what the upgrade was. How much of it we gained. I still think we take it. Let's take it. And then with our last research points, we're going to grab high energy bolts. Increases the damage of each plasma bolt from 4 to 6. Increases the energy per shot from 2.75 to 3. I think it's worth it. Most of the ships I created would have plasma weaponry. They are your primary weapon. You fire them with the left mouse button. There's nothing else you can key to the left mouse button. As such, and most of the other weaponry we will unlock not all of it, but most of it will not require energy to fire. There are 2 weapons that do, and 2 or 3 weapons that don't. The weapons that do are very power hungry, especially the other weapons, which we haven't even seen yet. We'll see them much later on. But we will want plasma weaponry on all of our ships. On that note, I noticed that for the blueprints, that it actually kept all of the blueprints from the ships I created a long time ago. That was just yesterday, Tim, when I was last playing the game. Things like this ship. Now, the blueprints that are available to you are based around the tech you have unlocked and the resources you possess. We cannot build a light frigate because we need 1 titanium, 25 neutronium, 38 cobalt 60, and we also need armor and missiles research before we can build this that is present here. So on and so forth. We cannot build any of these. I think I had built the medium surveyor. I'm positive I built the light challenger. Actually, this might have been the first vessel I built myself and saved the blueprint off. I have several others, though. We'll eventually see them. I love using the vessels I made in particular. In any case, we have some more modules, so before we end the session, let's go ahead and upgrade the ship. So, I definitely want another reactor. Actually, that's the only thing we can add to our ship at the moment, is a second reactor, because we don't have the titanium for anything else. Nor do we have the yttrium. We're short 7, and we don't have enough gold for another engine. So let's put the surveyor module behind us. I don't like how squat that is. Maybe we can do this. It's very important that the ship... I find the ship pretty. I don't find that ship pretty. It's so weird for me not to have these reactors be where they're located. One more alteration. I know no one cares, but... if I do this, and put the engines here... no, I don't like that either. It's like a little tank. Okay, let's just load up the light surveyor and stick another reactor on it. I don't like these. I don't like the way these look. There's no reason to do something like this. The longer the ship is... so, I mean, you do have to care about what your ship resembles a bit, because the longer you make your ship, if you're turning, the enemy can blast you. You're presenting more of a target for it to hit. So you do have to pay attention to how you make your ship. Maybe we can extend the plasma turrets. I didn't like that last time, Tim. Okay, we'll just go with this. We gotta leave the station to save the game. Alright, everyone, and that will do it for us. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys liked the first episode. I spent way too much time agonizing over what the ship looks like, and it still looks ugly. I'm not happy with it, but there's nothing I can do. Alright, so, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was entertaining. And as we explore, it takes a while for us to get from place to place. I will begin speaking more about just random stuff with you guys, so hopefully keep it entertaining. You will see that happen later. I feel like I need to warn you that in this game, I like this game very much. And enough that I played it for 40 hours and beat the game, and enough that I want to record it afterwards. I will say, though, that it is, there is quite a bit of time that you will travel between systems, that the longest it took me was about, I think, probably 8 minutes. And that's with turbo charged. We haven't even unlocked turbo yet, but that's an option to basically activate the afterburners on your ship, as it were. And with it held down for 8 minutes, it still took me that long to reach another sector. In particular, I was exploring deep space and wasn't sure where to go. So be aware of that if you decide to pick up this game, but I like the game a lot, so hope you guys are enjoying the Let's Play. I'm babbling, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one, I hope, everyone. Take care.